If you're feeling like this, like the aging process is kind of getting you down and that kind of thing, and maybe you feel you're being treated differently, or you feel not good enoughness kind of coming down, my question to you is, are you magnetizing? You are listening to Turn Your Soul On Radio. I am your host and visionary doctor, Dr. Brandy Victory, and my mission is to assist high-achieving women in closing the gap between feeling unfulfilled to living a life on fire. It is time, ladies, to champion our own lives and turn ourselves on. This is Living Victoriously, ladies. This is how you turn your soul on. Hello, gorgeous ladies. I am so happy to be with you here today. I am excited to have this conversation about aging, the dreaded aging. No one really likes it, right? So I'm going to break this up into 2 episodes just so I can, give you more that way. And I just had this, what brought this up is I had this really interesting experience. I had a girlfriend was over the other day, and she's just one of those beautiful people. Like, she's just a total sweetheart, kind, and she's beautiful on top of that, like blonde hair, carries herself well. She's a doctor. She's smart. She's just one of those girls that you're happy to have as a friend and on your side. And to look at her from the outside, you'd be like, her life is perfect. She's got that look. But she made this really interesting comment, which kind of like took me by surprise. And she said that she thought she might need therapy to help her with the aging process. And I was like, wow, I'd never heard that before, but it's probably a common thought among women, because especially if you felt good in your body at one time and then now you don't, right? So it could be really draining on our psyche to have that shift happen. But so when she said that, I was just kind of like, wow, I wonder really what's under all that. She actually said she feels she's treated different now that she's older. She was commenting on losing volume under her eyes, and she's actually probably listening right now and laughing. I hope she is anyway. But she was just telling me that, the guys don't open doors for her as much. Like, they'll still open a door, but it's not like, waha, right? And as we continue that conversation, I have a few years on her, and I've had the exact same experience come and go, actually. I happen to be in a magnetizing moment in my life, so I know that that's not because I'm aging. So as we continue that conversation, what we realized it comes down to is actually magnetism. So, we're vibrational, energetic beings, and energy it can be magnetizing or it can be repelling, right? We've talked about that before. If you go to a party, you're either magnetized to someone, or if you go on a date, maybe you go on a date, you're like, woo, you feel this magnetic attraction, or you don't. And it's not because of their age. It has nothing to do with their age, right? As a matter of fact, my boyfriend is 12 years older than me, and it's just awesome to have magnetism with someone who's older than me, right? So the question comes down to, if you're feeling like this, like the aging process is kind of getting you down and that kind of thing, and maybe you feel you're being treated differently, or you feel not good enoughness kind of coming down, my question to you is, are you magnetizing? And if not, why? Okay. And if we really step back, what does it mean to magnetize, and how do we do that? We're going to get into that in the next episode. But if you're magnetizing, because either you're drawing the stuff towards you that you desire, or you're not. So that would be magnetizing if you are, obviously. And it's certainly nice to have guys open doors for you and that kind of thing. But look at the other stuff, that maybe you're magnetizing. Maybe when you bring your attention to what am I magnetizing into my life? Maybe you'll notice you're magnetizing a cup of coffee from a friend, or even from a stranger. Maybe there's a new friend that came into your world. Maybe you magnetize a day of doing nothing. Like, that would be magnetism too for some of us that have really busy lives. So, the idea is that if you want to age gracefully, like, we can't stop the aging process. Like, that is never going to stop. We have no choice to do but to just kind of go with it. However, we can age gracefully. We can slow that process down a lot. I actually had a patient in the office the other day, and I asked, it was a new patient, I was like, how old are you? Because he's telling me about all these problems he's got, and I'm like, well, how old are you? I would have guessed 56, and he was 46. So I was just like, oh, maybe he was even 42. I was just like, whoa, dude, this guy is like totally aging so much faster than he needs to. And we all do it because we're under stress and we do things that aren't supporting us. That he was smoking. Like, God, that's going to age you really fast. But not exercising, not drinking clean water, not eating clean food, staying up late at night, drinking alcohol, drugs, those kinds of things age you. It just is true. And stress ages us faster than anything, I think. Well, maybe not faster than drugs, but stress ages us really fast. I can literally see aging happening on my face when I'm in stressed out periods of my life. So that's how I know that, I got to make a change. And so I do what I can to make a change, and then I give myself more facials, and I feel a lot better. So everything starts in your mind. Your mind is a powerful, powerful thing. So if you're focusing on, oh no, I'm noticing these wrinkles and I'm feeling old and it's just consuming you, then there's no magnetism going on there. It's just self-pity, okay? So if you focus on feeling fantastic, guess what you get? You've got it, feeling fantastic. So I know this is easier said than done. I'm just splurting all this stuff out right now. But this is where you have to bring your superpowers. Like, be strong and know that you deserve it. Like, at some point in time, my mom, she began saying, oh, I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that. Like, I might pick out some clothes I'd like her to wear. I'm too old for that. Or I might want her to go do something with me. I'm too old for that. And guess what? She lives a pretty mundane life. She doesn't really get dressed up. She really doesn't leave the house all that much to do anything other than go to church and to see my grandmother. Maybe out to eat at the same restaurant every single time. That's her life. And that's her choice. And it's way, way okay. And I personally have made a decision for myself that I want to feel the best I can. I want to feel fabulous as long as I can. I know a lady who is in her late 70s. She's in a women's group that I'm in, and she is amazing. Every time I see her, I think, oh my God, I want to be her when I'm her age, It's because she's vibrant and she's radiant and she walks tall and she dresses it up and she feels good as she can in her body. And I want that for myself. And I know that you want that for yourself too. And we've got to get our mind focused on making that a priority. You got to listen and pay attention to the things you're saying to yourself and make a change. There's no other way. I will never say what my mom said. I'm too old for that. I'll never say that. All right, I'll never say that. That's my life. I'm happy about that. I'm going to magnetize everything I can. I want to me, and you can too. Okay, so get clear on what you want to magnetize. Focus on your thoughts. Make sure you're saying the good stuff to yourself, and get rid of the old. All right. Next time, I will be talking about some age reversal techniques that you can do, and how to really take it to the next level in your life. And I will look forward to chatting with you then. Namaste. Thank you for tuning in to another awesome episode of Turn Your Soul On Radio. If you're enjoying the show and it's making a difference in your life, I'd be super grateful if you'd head on over to iTunes and leave a heartfelt review, which is a tremendous help for the growth of our show. Feel free to leave any suggestions or questions in your review, or you could shoot an email to us at admin@drbrandyvictory.com. I'd also like to invite you to become a deeper part of the Turn Your Soul On Radio community. You can do that by joining us in our private Facebook group, Turn Your Soul On. I'll leave a link in the show notes for you, and thank you so much for being here today. Live victoriously, ladies, and turn your soul on.
This podcast is for information purposes only. Dr. Brandy Victory is not a medical doctor, and the views and statements expressed on this podcast are not medical advice. This podcast, including Dr. Brandy Victory and the producers, disclaim responsibility from any possible adverse effects from the use of information contained herein. Opinions of guests are their own, and this podcast does not endorse or accept responsibility for statements made by guests. This podcast does not make any representations or warranties about guest qualifications or credibility. This podcast may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products or services. Individuals on this podcast may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to herein. If you think you have a medical problem, consult a licensed physician.